Hello everybody, the jacket's back. Welcome to another Patreon exclusive video. It's been a while since I did this. Thank you to all the new patrons who have joined. My goodness, I have to just say I'm overwhelmed with the support I'm getting from Patreon. I never ever expected it to be this successful, and I'm indebted to you for making this channel a possibility. What this video is, it's to explain two things that are going on outside of the channel that are going to affect it for the near future. One fantastic thing, one kind of so-so. So if you haven't seen my first thank you video, I am still in school pursuing a bachelor's degree in hospitality management. Right? Is that what you thought? I don't know, but I have to finish that degree up. Excuse the noise, by the way. The people in the unit down the hall for me are doing renovations, and it's the morning because I'm working today. So not shooting, have to shoot now. Anyway, my goodness, that's loud. Anyway, good news is I am going to be doing YouTube full-time pretty soon. I've talked to my boss at work, and he said, you know what, it's time for me to think of an exit strategy. And by June at the very latest, I will no longer be employed at my current employer, and I will be completely self-employed, which is amazing, and I have you to thank for making that possible, because if it weren't for this platform, there's no way that would work. It would be... The AdSense revenue is very feast or famine. There's some stability in there, but you never know what it's going to be like. If you have a great video like my Sony one, that gives some extra, my PlayStation one, that gives some extra income, which I'm going to be using to add to the channel, which is part of what's behind me, which I'll explain in a little bit. But going back to the degree, it's coming to the end of the semester, and I have a couple of big projects that are coming up. So I've discovered, and I'm kind of annoyed at myself that I'm like this, but I can't write for very long. And I don't have the patience or the attention span to be sitting in front of a computer writing all day. And so what has been happening is I keep making new scripts for the channel, and then I'm putting off my large paper that I have due at the end of April. So I need to put some serious effort into that. And that's why probably in April I'll only have 3 uploads total. I'm definitely going to be not doing an upload this week, and I apologize for that. Hopefully you understand, because it's there's just not enough time. But going back to the Sony the PlayStation video, that has brought in a significant chunk of extra income, which I'm going, well, it will in April, because that's when I will be paid for that. But what that will allow me to do is upgrade the channel. So that's what I'm working on also. What's behind me is everybody's favorite IKEA Kallax bookshelf system, because why not? It's cheap, it's easy, and highly customizable. So that is another project that I'm working on. Part of why I'm shooting this video is because I want to test lighting, and I've added some lighting to the cabinet behind me here. And I want to have every shelf that doesn't have either a door or drawers, because I'll be adding more of those, to be illuminated, and I have to figure out how to work with these lights. These lights are also from IKEA, of course, and they're really fantastic for how they appear to be extremely efficient. They barely produce any heat, but they have a lot of light output. And the only challenge is it's kind of tight. It's a tight beam coming out of there, which looks great, but it means, like the top right where I have that old Sony television, it lights it up pretty well, but anything that's behind that is dark. So this shelf with the telephone and the plant, the phone's got beautiful lighting, the plant has almost none. So I was originally going to put them all in the same exact spot. I had been measuring them, and so the 4 that are done, because they come in clusters of 4, are all in exactly the same position, but that's not really going to work. So I need to play around. I need to figure out what I want in the shelves before I finish this up. For example, I want to store some of my record albums in there, or laser discs, and I'd like them to have a light, but that light's going to have to be all the way up to the edge, because otherwise it won't have any lighting at all. If it looks crooked, it's because it's away from the wall. It's about half a meter away from the wall, or 1.5 feet for those in Freedom units. And so I'm still working on that. It's that's going to be a pretty big project. And some of my time will be going towards that outside of school. So that's fun. Other thing is, I mentioned just in text that right behind the camera is now where my green screen is. I still will be using it for a while, and I'll probably keep it up just depending on how things go. But I've relocated to my living room / dining room. This is my dining room. This is my dining room table, which is what I've been shooting B-roll on forever. And the reason why is because the acoustics are so much better in this room. It's carpeted for one thing, whereas my bedroom is not. So I added a rug. I have acoustic tiles on a lot of the walls in there, and it's just not helping. So figured I'd move into the living room and just say, screw it, this is my job now. I don't entertain much anyway. So yeah, but this also, I wanted to do this because the wall that it's in front of has been blank ever since I moved in. And I mean, I've wanted to put something there for a long time. I didn't know what exactly I was going to do. I was thinking maybe doing 2 bookcases on the ends, but then I thought, why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone and do something for the channel? I probably have had the shot cropped in this whole time. Let me zoom that out. Editing magic. And again, I don't know if I've explained this, but I shoot in 4K, even though I only upload in 1080p, exactly so I can do this sort of thing. That's why I move around a lot when I do jump cuts on the green screen, because it's more dynamic that way, and I do a lot of jump cuts. I know there's some people that really hate jump cuts, but Tom Scott, but I use them. Sorry. Man, this is a rambly video. If I didn't make that clear, I'm sorry. This is a rambly video. But what else was I going to say? So so I talked about school. I talked about work. Future videos. Have I talked about that? Not really. So I have a list of ideas. I have a Google Doc that I try to keep open whenever I'm near a computer, that I can just write ideas down. I would love to do a series of videos on photography itself and camera tech. For instance, I really like analog photography. These days, it's pretty much black and white is the only thing you can do easily. Because, I mean, you can buy color film anywhere, but you can't. Gone are the days where you could go to your grocery store and get it developed there. So I'd like to do some stuff on film photography with black and white. And down the road, I would like to purchase a color development kit and do some C41 processing on my own. But that will be, I don't know. I'd have to gauge viewership interest, but I'd like to start with, just like I've done my old series, explaining the basics of cameras. I have a couple of very antique. I have an Agfa Sure Shot box camera. It's not here. I have to get it from my parents, but because all my darkroom equipment is where they live, and I don't have the space here to set it up. But I definitely would figure out a way to do so. If not, just go there and set it up them and bug them and just say, hey, I need to borrow the furnace room again, because that's where I used to do it. And just, I think that'd be an interesting series, but I'm not quite sure. It's hard to figure out. So much of what is kind of scary as a creator is what has brought people to the channel, how much can you change direction without affecting your current viewers. And I think photography technology would be interesting, especially going back to old photography technology, because that's kind of the niche that this channel occupies. But it might, just as some people are getting jaded with Laserdisc stuff, maybe people would get jaded with that. I do have more. In the summer, I want to do a video on air conditioning, because there is a part, the way air conditioning is explained is not very thorough. And I feel like there's, like, whenever you see, if you look at like, how does air conditioning work? You see the diagram of the condenser, evaporator, compressor, and it basically just says, well, the refrigerant is compressed, and then it expands, but they usually don't explain the boiling and the condensing of the refrigerant and why latent heat of vaporization is so effective, and that's why we use the refrigerants that we use and not just like air. But So I'd like to do a video on that. And man, ramble. So anyway, the next couple weeks are going to be spent on my end building this, finishing this up, doing the homework that I've been not doing, and also just reorganizing my life a bit, because now I won't have a job, and it's going to be very weird for a while, because even though I'm only working 2 days a week, it's been this routine on Monday and Tuesday. I drive up to where I work, which is a 45-minute drive, spend 8 hours there, and drive back. And I'll be very part of what, it's both good in that it's grounding, but it's also terrifying because, or not terrifying, terrible, because the days that I work, I can't do anything for the channel. It just doesn't work. And the reason why is because I only work 8 hours a day, but because my drive is practically an hour, basically work a 10-hour day, and I work in the evening, so I get home at midnight. And even though I'm a night owl, I'll stay up till 2 or 3, but then if I do that, I don't wake up the next day till like 11, and then I have 3 hours before I need to go to work. So it's always been on days that I work, I'm not productive. And that's part of why I need to say, you know what, I appreciate the opportunity that I've been getting from the company I work for, but I need to focus on this, because I think I have a brighter future here, and even if it's not brighter, it's more rewarding, definitely, to know that there's 100,000 people now that like what I'm doing, and over 400 of you that like it so much that you're contributing to the channel through your own money, which is, again, thank you. It's amazing. I'm really indebted to Patreon for existing, and also, but of course, more than Patreon, I'm indebted to them for making the platform, but you are the people that make the platform work. So I should really thank you, Patreon, for making an easy way for people to support channels, but more importantly, thank you, the supporters who feel it's worth doing. Man, stop the hammering. Okay, I don't know if you've seen that Lawrence O'Donnell clip, but that's funny. My brain is all over the place. So I guess I'll close this out by saying, what do you think of this? Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think it's a terrible idea? Do you think it's a cliche? Should I just stick with the green screen? Or, man, it's hard to think with that. Oh, by the way, it's April 9th and it is snowing, like snowing outside. And I was listening to the radio before I started this, and apparently traffic is a mess because the roads are icy. Yay, I don't have to leave for about 4.5 hours, but still, yikes. And so that'll be fun. Nothing like driving on icy, snowy conditions. This has been the coldest beginning of April in my memory. And I know in Chicago we can get snow in May, but it's extremely rare, and it's like, it hasn't broken. In February, we had a day that got up to like 65 or 70, and I'm sorry, that's fair. I have no idea what that is in Celsius. And now it's been hovering barely above freezing point. The high today was 40, which is probably like 4 Celsius, but it's going to get down to 20 tonight. So, yay, winter in Chicago. It just doesn't end. And then what's going to happen is we'll get 1 week of nice spring temperatures, and then it will be just hot until October. Why do I live here? I don't know. I like it, but anyway. So thanks for watching this rambly update video. I thank you, of course, for your support. And if there's anything, I should put forward this to you. I have a lot of ideas in my head, of course, but I could always use more. So if there's ever anything that you think might be a good thing for me to do, or that you'd like to see, like me to explain, I'd be happy to do those sorts of research things. Of course, I want to do a few things on, I can still do more videos on electric vehicles because I still have my Volt, and I can bug my parents to borrow the Bolt again. So anything you'd like, just tell me, because, you know, I'll consider it. I have, the biggest struggle that I have right now is just writing and preparing for stuff, because I don't do well making videos like this. That's why I redid the CLD M301 video because I am a rambly person, and if I don't have something written out, I will just go on tangent after tangent, and I can't keep myself straight. So that's why I work from a script. So although I have a good idea of the channel direction, I need to put a lot of work forward to actually being ready to make those videos. So that's where I am right now. And as I said, in my mind, it's conflicting with the fact that I have a major research paper to write that I've been working on. Oh, in other random news, that cyst in my eye, I got that removed. So now the annoying people that comment about that white ball under my eye, it's not there anymore. I was never bothered by it, but it's been there for a couple years, and I figured, see a dermatologist, and got that taken care of. But anyway, I will close this video out by saying thank you for paying attention to my rambly nonsense. Thank you, of course, for being a patron. That's forever appreciated. And I hope to see you soon. I have a video, I might test the waters with photography a little bit because I have some extension tubes that I bought for this camera. And I've written a video, just a quick video showing what extension tubes are and what they allow you to do. So I might make that. That would take just a day or so. I might be able to do that this weekend. So I just don't know if it's like too random for the channel, but I mean, I am a little random, so just so long as it's techie stuff, I suppose people don't really care. But in any case, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I will see you soon.